The action library. Hey guys, what's up? This is CG Stuff. Yes, that's the name of the new application that I'm making, the Studio Library style application. Well, it's just called the action library now. Why action library? Because, well, actions are called actions in Blender, and I want to preserve the style of, it being called actions. Anywho, I just have an update of how it's going to be organized, stuff like that, etc. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you a few updates on the application side. So basically, it is not the full tutorial that you guys have been waiting for, but I'm going to show you a few updates. So when you download the distribution from GitHub, you don't have to worry about any development stuff. For developers, that's another story, and I'll worry about that when I'll show you the entire tutorial later. But let me show you a few things. Now, for people for animators who are working on just animations and don't have to worry about the development side, it's as simple as you just download it and you just enter the application, and it will build a few things, and there's a welcome screen, just next, and automatically it will detect inside the folder where you open the application a storage folder. Now, this storage folder is basically where your animations, blend files, MP4s, actually WebM, basically, for reasons, don't worry about that, JSON files are going to be stored. I'll show you in a bit. Now, do not move that folder, that storage folder. Do not move the entire folder, as a matter of fact. Otherwise, you're going to have to repoint it in Blender. Okay, so you just put next, next, finish, and then the application will open. And then when let me just bring it here, and here, don't worry about this. This is like a bit ugly right now. I didn't still, again, work in progress. So right now I'm just going to put the theme that I use. In here, I added the ability to install the Blender integration within here. So you go to settings. Yeah, once you pick your Blender executable and verify Blender, it's going to tell you that it's verified, and you install your add-on. I'm not going to do that because I already have my add-on installed, obviously. And then that's pretty much it. You can close this here, and that's it. Now, when you go back to Blender, you're going to see that in the add-ons, there's something called action library. Now, over here in the action library's preferences, you have to point this thing, this location, to the executable, which is basically like the executable and the storage. Now, the storage is just this entire thing. You just copy paste this location and you paste it here. And same for the executable. Now, for developers, by default, it's going to be set to production, which is basically the thing that you set it to, the action library.exe. You go here and you have to point it to this thing, which is basically the main executable. So once you do that, you can basically test launch, and it will basically open the actual exe. That's exactly what we want. It's going to open this. For my purposes, though, I am still using the development, which is the second option. If you're actually developing the add-on, if you're doing stuff like that, which again I will talk about more in depth in a different video, I am using this one. You will have to use something else, but don't worry about that. But it's the same thing. Nothing changes. Okay. And basically here, once you basically launch the application, it will basically launch. Okay. Now, again, the development build and the executable build are two different things. So right now I'm using development build, but again, nothing changes. Everything's the same. Let me just delete those for a second, which again, this is something that I added, but let's just step by step go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, I'm going to save animations. Here, nothing changed. Last time you guys saw that I can add an action and capture it. What I added though is the ability to update a preview. Let me show you. Okay, so let's say I have in the background a cube, okay, and let's say for like staging, I have like these two cubes, and I want to capture animation. I click on my rig and I capture animation. All right, and I'm going to launch the application. Now you can see that when I hover over here, yeah, I have these two cubes in my scene. Let's say I don't like that. I want to, let's say, update my preview. So what I do basically, I want to delete my cubes and I want to click again. And while selecting the card, you have to select the card, basically the same animation inside the application, and just click on update preview on the same animation. Don't basically select a wrong card. It might update that specific animation by mistake. Be careful of that. Now what you have to do is just like update animation, update preview, sorry, and then go back here, and you can see that you just press refresh, select, and you can see that the cubes disappear, and we updated the preview. That's something that I think is cool. Over here, that what I did is I removed the apply to blender button because I noticed that when we're working around this triangle. I want to click preview, edit, and then go back here, pick another animation and click. I added a placeholder blender button. I might change it later. And then what I want to do, I click and it applies to blender. And I, click and drag, put something here, check it out, It's going to be like this area of working most of the time. You know what I mean? Another thing I added is just when I go here, I have the ability, let me just add, it's fine. It's going to be the same animation. So my mistake. Yeah, let me capture the same animation over and over. Still something that I'm working out regarding like JSON data and stuff like that. So we're still working on that. And what I'm going to do here in the application, I'm just going to refresh. Yeah. Okay. So over here, what I do is basically I can select, then I can shift select. And then over here, I can like change the tags, remove tags. So over here, I only have, if you see, let me actually add all of these to, yeah, I can't select multiple, but this is something that I'm still going to work on. But the idea is that if you're in a folder and if you want to remove multiple tags, you can just go here and you can just remove this tag all at once and it's going to get removed. That's something. You can also like choose to select multiple at once. So I can like just change the colors by selecting everything, and it can also deselect everything. So if I have a lot of things selected, I can just deselect everything and it'll be back. I'm still reworking this UI because I feel it's a bit annoying. Some things might need to move, still seeing some stuff. So what you can also do from here is make custom colors, because right now we have these values and we can, let's say, click on something, change the bottom color and the top color. Yeah. And press OK, and we have like a custom color right now, and we can basically save this as a preset. And again, not very obvious of what we need to do, so I'm going to make these things better. So I'm going to put this as test 3. Okay, and let's say I want to reuse it, so I have test 3, so that's nice. I'm going to deselect, stuff like that. It's again a work in progress, but the bulk of what this is there pretty much, and we just need to improve it, is what I'm saying. Some UI stuff still not working because right now if I refresh, this folder disappears. So pretty much just work in progress all in all. But the idea is that the ability to take the blender is working fine. It's just that I'm refining some UI stuff. So let's say if I want to send to blender, remove the animation, let's say, yeah, and then apply from desktop with add new. Yeah, it works. Another thing that I added is if I, let's say, remove, add, let's say, a root motion animation. Okay, and if I, let's say, it goes off screen again, the whole camera thing is not resolved yet, so that's fine. I'm going to capture this animation. Okay, and if I go back to the application, I'm going to refresh. All right, I have this new animation. Now this animation has root motion. The idea is that if you think about it, in Blender, if I apply this animation, okay, and I want to apply again, obviously like it's going to jump back to the center. Now what I did is I added this ability to enable root motion continuity. You just need to pick which bone is the one that's moving in space. In this situation, since this is a mixum rig, it's the hip bone. So because over here, if I go to hip, it's the thing that's controlling the entire character. And other rigs, which still requires testing, it's most probably going to be the root. Sometimes it's torso. It depends really on the rig. In this situation, I know for sure it's going to be the hip bone. So what I do, I'm going to enable over here. Again, I'm going to refine the UI, but it's going to basically offset. Basically, it's going to fix the discontinuity in the graph editor. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go into pose mode, and if I go into here, what it's going to do basically, if you try to reapply another animation, it's going to take these and literally you're going to have this. Now, what this does automatically, it's going to try to fix the discontinuity on here. And now if I'm going to do it manually, I'm going to have to like isolate this, make it go here, try to do this. And this becomes tedious, you know what I mean? So I just literally automated all of this. So what you do basically is if you have inserted already this animation, I'm going to go back to the dope sheet. Yeah, let's say I want this character to keep moving in space. What I do basically is I just add insert new over here. Yeah, insert at playhead, and I want to enable the root motion continuity. And over here, I just want to apply to Blender, okay? And I want to apply from desktop. Now you can see that over here. Yeah, okay, so my bad. It's because these were not enabled. Let me try again. Yeah, so what we're going to do is obviously we need to enable these, and then I'm going to go back to the application. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to apply from Blender. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, pretty much what happens is automatically it just fixed the discontinuity line, and you can see this if I go to this, and yeah, pretty much you can see that the keys, they keep moving in space pretty much, and that's literally it. I think it's pretty cool, and you know, you can just keep making a walk motion, a running motion, and just making moving in space. I'm trying to look up a solution to detect velocity and stuff like that, but for now, if you want to like chain animations together, this should work fine. I'm still further testing and refining, but generally these are the major updates. I also added mirror action, reverse action, selected bones. Obviously, selected bones is already there. Now, here's the thing about mirror actions. This won't work on a mix and work because it doesn't have the naming convention of a Blender rig, in the sense that in Blender you need to have .l and .r. Now, obviously, this rig cannot be mirrored because if you go back to here, let's say, okay, if I press Control C and Control Shift V, it's not gonna work. So yeah, you have to respect the Blender convention. This is a Blender thing. What else can we do? We can, again, use slots is still experimental. I'm trying to do like a pseudo layering system just to future-proof when actual layers come. What else? Generally, that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm still refactoring to make organization clean and to add actual features without having disorganized code. But yeah, generally, that's it. I will update you guys, and hopefully, I'm not going to give any promises, but don't worry, soon this application will be on GitHub soon enough. Have a nice day. Bye.